Hello, this is the presentation for Advanced Health Assessment class. Our team is going to assess the neurological system, and it is integrated by Ángel Garcia, Yamiris Machado, Julien Prado, and Enia Perez. Now let's go to begin. The nervous system with its central and peripheral division maintain and control all body functions by its voluntary and autonomic response. The evaluation of motor, sensory, autonomic, cognitive, and behavioral elements make neurological assessment one of the most complex portions of the physical examination. Our assessment begins with the presentation of the patient. We're gonna interview the patient, we're gonna assess the chief complaint, we're gonna assess the present history and the past history, and also the family history of the patient. Then we're going to begin with the assessment of the cranial nerve. We're going to begin with the cranial nerve number 1, the olfactory. We're going to test the ability to identify familiar aromatic odors, one notice at a time with eyes closed. Then we're going to assess the second is the optic nerve. We're going to test the distant and near vision. Now we're going to assess the number 3, 4, and 6. We're going to inspect the eye light for dropping. We're going to inspect pupil size for equality and the direct and consensual response to light and accommodation. And then we're going to test the extraocular eye movement. Then we're going to assess the number 5, the trigeminal. We're going to inspect face for muscular atrophy and tremor. We're going to palpate the jaw muscle for tone and stretch when the patient changes teeth. We also going to test the superficial pain and touch sensation in each branch. Now we're going to examine the 7, the facial. We're going to inspect symmetry of facial feature with various expressions, for example, smile, frown, puff, cheeks. Now we're going to explore the number 8, the acoustic. We're going to test the sense of hearing with whisper screening test. We're going to explore number 9 and number 10. We're going to test the ability to do the gut reflex and the ability to swallow. We're going to inspect palate and uvula for symmetry with speech sounds and gut reflex. We're going to observe for swallowing difficulty. Now the number 9, the spinal accessory. We want to test trapezius musculus stretch and the sternocleidomastoidea. Now the number 12, the hypoglossal. We're going to inspect the tongue in the mouth and white protruded for symmetry, tremor, and atrophy. We're going to inspect the tongue movement toward nose and chin. For the proprioception and cerebellar function. First of all, we're gonna explore the coordination and fine motor skill. When performing the following assessment, we're gonna observe for any involuntary movement. Now we're gonna explore the proprioception and cerebellar function. First of all, we're gonna explore the coordination and fine motor skill. When performing the following assessment, we're gonna observe for any involuntary movement, such as tremor, or tics or fasciculation. Then we're going to explore the rapid rhythmic alternative movement. We're going to assess this, ask the patient that touch the thumb to each finger on the safe hand in sequence from the index finger to the little finger and back. We're going to test one hand at a time, increasing speed gradually. Then we're going to explore the accuracy of movement with the finger to nose test, where it's performing with the patient eyes open. We're going to ask the patient to use an index finger and alternatively touch his or her nose and your index finger. We're going to position the fingers about 18 inches from the patient, allowing the patient to reach full arm extension. We're going to expect the patient movement to be rapid, smooth, and accurate. Then we're going to explore the balance and the equilibrium. First of all, we're going to evaluate this one with the Romberg test. We're going to ask the patient with the eyes open and then closed to stand, feet together, and arm at the side. Stand closed, prepared to catch the patient if he or she starts to fall. Then we're going to explore the gait. We're going to observe the patient walk without shoes around the examining room or down a hallway. First with the eyes open and then with the eyes closed. Now we're going to explore the sensory function. First of all, we're going to assess the superficial touch. We're going to touch the skin with a cotton grease or with your fingertip using light stroke. Have the patient point to the area touched or tell you when the sensation is felt. Now we're going to explore the superficial pain, alternating the sharp and smooth edge or a broken tongue blade or paper clip. Touch the skin in an unpredictable pattern. Now we're going to explore the vibration. We're going to place the stem of a vibrating tuning fork against several bony prominences. And we're going to ask the patient to tell you when and where the buzzing or tingling sensation is felt. Now we're going to explore the cortical sensory function. First of all, we're going to explore the stereognosis. We're going to hand the patient a familiar object like key or coin to identify by touch and manipulation. Tactile agnosia and inability to recognize object by touch suggest a parietal lobe lesion. Okay, now we're going to explore the two-point discrimination. We're going to use two sterile needles or end of a paper clip and alternate touching the patient's skin with one point or both points of various locations over the body. We're going to explore the graphesthesia. With a blunt pen or an applicator stick, draw a letter, number, or shape on the palm of the patient's hand. Ask the patient to identify the figure. Repeat using a different figure on the other hand. We're going to expect the figure to be readily recognized. Now we're going to explore the reflex. We're going to explore the patellar reflex. We're going to flex the patient knee to 90 degrees, support the upper leg with your hand, and allow the lower leg to hang loosely. Strike the patellar tendon just below the patella. And we're going to expect the contraction of the quadriceps. We're going to explore the bicep reflex, the brachioradial reflex, and the tricep reflex. And in this way, we're going to finish this neurological assessment. Thank you for everything.